Hello, Book 2. Let's rifle through the mail, shall we? We haven't done that in a while. A nice, healthy size shipment today. We'll start off with this one. The box says that it's from Oxford University Press. Usually pleases me. Oh, look at that! Oh, wow. Stories from the Leopold Shack. Sand County Almanac Revisited. Or Sand County Revisited. This is bits and pieces of folklore and Leopoldiana, depending on the classic of nature writing, a Sand County Almanac, which you should all find and read. You can find it at your nearest thrift store. I guarantee you there'll be a copy, and it's great. So this is what? Just in 1934, conservationist Aldo Leopold and his wife Estella bought a barn, the remnant of a farm, and surrounding lands in south central Wisconsin. The entire Leopold clan, 5 children in all, worked together to put into practice Aldo's land ethic, which involved ecological restoration and sustainability. In 1948, a Sand County Almanac was published, and it has become a beloved and foundational text of the conservationist movement. And this is decades later. Interesting. All right, well, good. A nice start. So that's that. Let's see here. What do we got next? This thing's discouragingly tiny. We all know. Steve likes big books. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay. This is much hyped. I'm happy to get it. It's Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. It's been on the... Let's see. Max Porter works in publishing and lives in London with his wife and children. This is his first book. And as my dear sainted Ma would have said, it'd kill you to smile. You'd think he'd be happy having his first book brooded everywhere. This is on the work stack and the active part of the desk of every fiction reviewer and editor that I know or know of. So that's not bad. And it comes out at the beginning of June. I predict that if you follow these kinds of things at all, you're going to see an even bigger avalanche of attention than it's already got. Maybe even from me. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that's good. Then this one is one of these factory sealed things. Let's see what we have here. Okay. This is Cara Black. This is another one of her murder mysteries set in France. It's the Amy Leduc investigation series. They have never pleased me. And I thought it was me. I read the first few that came to me, and I thought, that seems rather flat. And I thought maybe that's just you. Maybe I have a not entirely happy relationship with Paris. So I sent a couple to our indomitable mystery Maven from Open Letters Monthly, Irma Hellman, the great Irma, and they didn't trip her trigger either. So I don't think they're for me. I don't know. It's a very rare thing for me to say on this channel when we're opening mail, but this is a book I might not even read. But we'll see. All right. So the next one. Okay, the next one comes to me. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am the U.S. and worldwide editor for the Historical Novel Reviews indie branch, the branch that covers quarterly issues that cover self-published and subsidy-published historical novels. I'm the guy that the authors send these things to in the hope of getting a review in my quarterly issue, me and my indomitable managing editor, the mighty Helen Holland. So that's what this is. And just as a side note, I should point out that, on the outside chance that any of you out there watching this have self-published a historical novel recently, send it to me. The Historical Novel Society's journal I'm following is quite dedicated. You would be doing yourself a favor if we accept it for review. So let's see. This is called Beige by C. Monique Green. And it has a note to me. That's good. 1935 Seattle. Josiah Kessler has never been seen as a colored person. But when the 15-year-old newspaper boy delivers a copy of the Renton Chronicle to Davis Jordan, the old Mississippi man befriends him. Soon, over homemade Southern cooking and ragtime music thumping from the phonograph, the impoverished teen finds an unexpected companion from the colored elder's kindness. While the youngster learns the dark history of the culture he lives in and discovers the moral impact of the Great Depression surrounding him, his friend becomes an intriguing anchor. Interesting. So that's one of the things I love about this particular editorial hat that I wear, is that I never know what's coming. These are stories told from literally the whole span of human history. And it looks like this next one is the same thing. Also a historical novel book. Let's see what this is. The Steinhaus by Mira Hargrave McIlvaine. That's what it looks like. After 3 long months at sea, Helga Heinrich and her 4 children sail into the thriving Indianola seaport on the Texas coast in 1853 to begin their new life. They are determined to overcome the memory of and haunting legacy of Max, her husband and their papa, who drowned in a drunken leap from the dock as their ship pulled away from the German port. Interesting. So their immigrant's experience is birthed in tragedy. Okay. All right. So we're moving right along here. Oh, God, this is another Indie Branch book. All right, so what have we got here? This is by Patty Dixon Paiska, I think. It's called Finding the Raven. That's what it looks like. And what have we got here? When Julia Dulac's father is murdered on stage and her inheritance is swindled away, she must work through her grief and fear of poverty to find both the killer and a means of survival with the help from the Raven, a black crystal that reveals images of the past and future truths. So this is set in and around the backdrop of the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, and it's intriguing, and I will certainly read this. I read, unlike some of my fellow editors, I read every single thing I've sent. But as I pointed out on this channel before, some of you might remember, one of the problems that Helen and I deal with historical novel submissions is whether or not their intent is to be a historical novel. If this is meant more as historical fantasy, there's a supernatural element in it, that will be harder probably for me to find a reviewer. But only reading it will tell, and that's a very happy pleasure. So let's see here. All right, so this one we're back to open letters. This is just from Pegasus Books. What is this? The Unknown Universe by Stuart Clark. A new exploration of time, space, and modern cosmology. So this comes out, what have we got here? This comes out in July, July the 5th, when all of you will still be brutally hungover. On March 21st, 2013, the European Space Agency released a map of the afterglow of the Big Bang, taking in 440 sextillion kilometers of space and 13.8 billion years of time. It is practically impossible to make a better map. We will never see the early universe in more detail. And this book delves into really head-stretching cosmology. Let's see here. This is from Macmillan. Seems like the biggest thing today. What is this? Oh, very nice. This is the great Barbara Taylor Bradford, The Cavendon Luck. Isn't that lovely? You can't really tell, but this is embossed. Oh my, oh, very nice. So let's see here. This comes out soon, in June, early June. It's 1938 in England, and Miles and Cecily Ingham have led the family in bringing the Cavendish estate back from the brink of disaster. But now, with the arrival of World War II, Cavendish Hall will face its biggest challenge yet. It is a challenge that will push the Inghams and the Swans to protect one another and the villagers, to reveal their true capacity for survival and rebirth. So, you get a little bit of Brideshead Revisited, a little bit of Ken Follett's Fall of Giants, told in her style. That's always nice. All right, on we go. Reaching the bottom here. This is big. Oh my! Oh goodness gracious! Okay, this is A.L. Kennedy. Serious Sweet. A.L. Kennedy is something of a critical darling of a contemporary novelist. This is not one I had heard of. This comes out in late October. Let's see here. The novel unfolds over the course of 24 hours in London. A good man in a bad world, John Sigurdsson is 59 and divorced, a senior civil servant in London who hates many of his colleagues and loathes his work for a government engaged in unmentionable acts. Meg Williams is a bankrupt accountant, 2 words you don't want in the same sentence or anywhere near your resume. She's 45 and shakily sober, living on Telegraph Hill in London, where she can see the city unfurl below her. Somewhere out there is John, pinballing around the city with a cell phone and a letter-writing habit he can't break. He's a man on the brink, leaking government secrets and affection for a woman he barely knows as he runs for his life. That sounds fantastic. This author hasn't always pleased me, but this certainly sounds like it will. So, all right, then we've got our last one for today. Let me see here. Let me set that up. What is this? Is this one of these pressure pack things? Okay. All right. Little bit late to the game. This is Rick Campbell's Ice Station Nautilus. This is the finished copy of a book I've already reviewed. So that's all right. That's just fine. But it's tremendously good. It's straight out of the Clancy playbook. It's an American sub crew and a Russian sub crew that are fighting it out underneath the Arctic ice cap. Perfect reading for, you know, that type of reader if you know them, your father or an uncle or something like that. Perfect for that. There's not an ounce of fat anywhere on the narrative. And the action picks up as it goes along. So if, for instance, actually that's another thing to mention now that we're finished here, is for those of you who might be new to these mail days, let me know in the comments, of course, if any of these strike you as interesting. But if there's something here that you can't live without, that you really, really want, let me know, and I'll send it to you. And in the case of this, where I've already done my duty by the book, I reviewed the IRC, let me know if you know somebody that this would make a good gift for, and I'll send it to you. And you can surprise them. So there you go. That was the mail for today. Nice, healthy shipment. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.